whether alcoholism is genetic or not. So there are three basic definitions. Alcoholism is the continued excessive consumption of alcohol. It is poisoned by alcohol, and it is a chronic disorder caused by excessive amounts of alcohol consumed, and it leads to addiction and alcohol dependency. So some statistics just to give you an idea on how bad it actually is. In the United States, 43% of adults have come in contact with alcoholism in their family, or they grew up around it, whether they grew up around it or they're married into it. It was found in a study in 2012 that more than 10% of children in America live with at least one alcoholic parent. In a 2014 study, it was found that about 1.3 million people from the ages of 12 and 20 were heavy drinkers. About 17% of men and 8% of women are found to be alcohol dependent at some point in their lifetime. So the two basic arguments on alcoholism, whether it's genetic or not, is nature versus nurture. People say that it is genetic, which is nature, which means that they were born with a gene from their parents or somebody else in their family who were alcoholics, so that gives them a higher risk of being alcoholics sometime in their future. Or that is not genetic, which is nurture, which means that they weren't born with it as a gene, but they experienced it, or they just adapted to it, so they became alcoholics. And I'm not going to show the video just in case it was recorded. So nature. The definition of nature is what we think of as free riding. It's influenced by genetic inheritance and other biological factors. And how it's related to alcoholism is that it's believed that people who are considered alcoholics can pass on a gene, like I said before, to their offspring that will make it more likely for them to be an alcoholic soon, or one day. And then there's nurture, and the definition of nurture is the influence of external factors after concentration of the product of exposure, experience, and learning on an individual. And how it's related to alcoholism, it's said that people are not born with a gene that make them become alcoholics, they become alcoholics through life experiences and life situations. Possible outcomes of, or causes of alcoholism. A family can pass down mental illness genes like depression and schizophrenia, and if a child were to develop those mental illnesses, they might become alcoholics to cover up the pain as seen in this picture. A child may grow up in a household with someone who is an alcoholic, where they just grow up with it, like here. And then a child can grow up and spend time with groups of people who drink, and it's seen as cool or it's seen as the norm. So my opinion, I don't think it's genetic. I believe in nurture. Based on my personal research and life experiences, like people in my family, people in families that I know personally, I don't think you're born with it. I think you learn it through experience, and through trial and error you see it just, I don't know. I just don't think it's genetic. So. And then here are my sources.